Okay, sir. So, annually, worldwide, 184,000 deaths. As of 2021, in the US, it was about 25,000 deaths. So, that's sugar alone, and that rivals cocaine. So, at some point, should we be looking at making sugar illegal?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, but it's America. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's all about. Oh my God, Marty. Oh my God, that shit was funny. But it's America. It's not going to. No, it's all about money. It's all about getting everybody sick. It's all about money. It's not going to happen. Just like cancer. It's diabetes, cancer, AIDS. There's cures for that. But they want the bread.
So why did cocaine get the bad rap that it did when sugar is just as deadly?
Because you can't tax cocaine, you can't tax drug dealers. It's okay for hospitals and doctors to prescribe it, but why can't civilians sell it?
Right.
They can't tax it.
So do you think it'll be like hemp marijuana, where there's a point where it'll be for public consumption and usage, and just like we see refineries and dispensaries now, that you'll be able to get doses of cocaine?
Yeah, that's going on in Oregon as we speak.
Okay. So with that though, I mean, it still has detrimental aspects, physically, and a whole list of problems. But I mean, isn't sugar even more dangerous, because we're giving this to children as well?
It's more dangerous than alcohol, but you see what alcohol is doing.
Right.
It was a prohibition, but they was like, no, we able to tax it, make money off of it, so we're just going to make it legal now.
Right.
How many people die over DUIs and drug drivers?
For a variety of reasons.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I personally find the sugar to be more dangerous than the cocaine because of the broad spectrum of who it reaches.
True, yeah, you're right, and then it's a longevity thing.
Right. So it's not just.
It's not fast acting. It's still going to take some years to happen, and.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that's just the bullet in the chamber, because it's not just potential overdose or violence behind like the cocaine. It turns into diabetes. It's like a slow, to your point, they're feeding us right to the medical system, the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, they are. They don't care. Just like this COVID shit. It was COVID years ago. It was COVID on fucking Lysol spray. They brought that shit. You know how much money pharmaceuticals made every minute?
Profiting off of disease.
Yeah. Fucking billions. So it's all about money. Long story short, all about money.
Cool. Shout out. I'll leave it to you.
No, I'm good. I'm straight.
All right,
Peace.
Yeah. All right, Cat Coleman. So worldwide, there are about 184,000 deaths annually. In the United States, there are about 24,000 deaths annually. And this is sugar-related deaths. Cocaine is about the same number annually in the U.S., about 24,000. So is there a point that we should be looking at sugar and cocaine as the same dangerous drug?
Hell yeah. Shit, they both kill as many people. Hell yeah, sugar is a drug. It's people getting hooked on sugar, getting hooked on sweet. Sometimes it's artificial. This ain't even the real sugar we be having. They giving us just, and well, shit, people dying. let me slim it down. People dying, and I mean just as much as cocaine. So like it's a danger. Sugar is a dangerous thing. If people dying just from eating and digesting this stuff, I would consider it very dangerous. Shoot, it's more people, the same amount of people who do cocaine is the same amount of people that die. They both have the same amount of people. Ouch. Yeah, they both are bad. So yeah, I would say sugar is not healthy for you at all.
So why do you think that we are allowed to not only consume sugar like that, but give it to children when it triggers the same pleasure center in the brain that cocaine does?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. It's I think more than anything, kids candy. Candy has a lot of sugar in it. So most people are going to keep their kids happy, give them candy, give them a lollipop or something. That stuff is addicting. See, they eating this candy, they gonna start wanting more candy and more candy and more soda and more anything that has to do with sweet stuff. They gonna want more of it. So, and I mean, it's detrimental just to the kid as well. If adults is dying, everyone's dying from it, from sugars. Kids is dying too. So yeah, I mean, I feel that it's not too good to give kids sugar, but kids are getting more and more addicted to this stuff. And it's because the sugar is hurting all of us. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel that I just read something today too that says theory most kids who drink soda or pop or anything like that or have candy is more likely to develop drinking habits once they get older, to more likely be able to drink beer and stand the taste of it. And these things, because they've been drinking soda, it's caffeinated, and it's bubbles, and all that stuff has to do with going into beer. So I figure that sugars is not helping no one. It's not helping no one, and it's definitely not going to help the kids, because it makes them develop symptoms in the longer run, to where when they start drinking and want to try shots of cranberry juice and Jello shots,
Jack and Coke,
that's sweet, and you know what I mean, that got soda in it, so you know what I mean, they feel it's still okay, but it's like it's just hurting us in the long run.
So when we have and to kind of piggyback onto your point, what the stat that I got from was not only sugar, but it was more specifically sugary drinks. So we could actually make the case that
Kool-Aid,
right? So that kids they're being exposed to this, but then they're not just dying the same way like you would maybe with the cocaine, like an overdose. This is a slow death.
Yeah.
So not only do you have the people that are dying, but then you've got a whole host of people who are waiting to die through diabetes, through all of these other issues that are happening. So what is it that we're missing as a society that says when you give children something like cake at a birthday party and then you see them running around wound up, why do we not see that as the same as adults doing cocaine in the club?
All wound up,
right?
Around sweating and you know what I mean, just doing what they do best.
Is it because we couldn't tax it? Same thing with marijuana, or because we found it where did we get to the point where we could say one is worse than the other?
Man, that's a good question. I can't even tell you when that time came. Shoot. I mean, I think actually we have been going through it for a while, but it's just now people just starting to realize that the sugar is probably leading cause of cancer, different stuff that kids are having, and all this stuff. Now we're realizing that it's not helping us. I know we been realizing, but more people start to talk about it,
right, and
bring it out, so people are aware of these things. But oh shit, I can't even know. I don't even know. Can't even tell you when they made it the time that came around when it was two types of. They made one higher than the other one because it's you know what I mean, people want, it's deaths right now. What's going on right now is people like, oh, they're dying, oh, stop that. But the long death run is also important. So I can't recall the time, but I'm thinking it would be at least the 2000s. The 2000s is probably the time when I think they said, I mean, they kind of treated one a little bit better than the other one. Both are the same thing.
Right.
They both are a leading cause of death, cancer, all kind of different stuff. So
I'm gonna get you out of here on this fun fact. The original Coca-Cola had cocaine in it.
Oh yeah, shoot, I remember hearing that. Yeah, shit, that's crazy. All that sugar and cocaine in the bottle at the same time. That shit was making people crazy.
Right.
Sugar, all the sugar and cocaine, man. That's probably why some of these people was messed up, because a lot of people drunk that stuff.
Yeah.
Shit, and that was in the 90s or the 80s?
No, that was like the 1920s probably.
Oh shit, that was way before.
It was like the original formula, yeah. Then that's why it's called Coca-Cola.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. I guess in the 1980s, that's when they made it. I mean, in the 1920s, that's when they made it even. Like, that's crazy. I remember hearing about that, but once you think about it and put it in, like, sugar's been killing motherfuckers for a long time. And you think about it, now they got them mixed within that time. I wonder how many people don't die and had fucking diseases, cancers and shit.
Exactly.
it's so ridiculous. But I mean, I wouldn't think of it like this. If sugars used to go into, they used to put cocaine in soda, which is already sugary drink. Man, shoot, they both obviously ain't good for you at all.
Right.
Shoot, cocaine is illegal. Sugar is illegal, but it's still bad for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just, man, sugar's not good for nobody.
We'll leave it at that.
People's dying left and right, man. And, you know, the intake. We want people to be healthy. We want people to be healthy. You know what I mean? Try to cut less down on the sugars. You know what I mean? It's different things that you can do to be healthy. Because nowadays, the world ain't gonna give you too much good information. You have to just research until you put it into your own context and get it. You know what I mean? Get it straight to you, to make it to you how you make it feel to yourself, and then I feel people will be much better.
Right on, right on. Any
A lot
parting
more
words?
Lives will be saved.
Yes, parting words.
Peace and love, everybody.
There we go. I appreciate your time, sir.
Yes, sir.
So my take on the sugar cocaine sort of thing is, yes, sugar should be recognized to be something extremely dangerous. And I think that it is more than years past. So I think for those of us who are, say, 35 and over, we understand a different life as far as what breakfast cereals and a lot of drinks and a lot of things that were really glorified through commercialization that got pumped into our homes. And our parents bought it thinking, hey, you know, all these people are having fun. My kids want it, so let's give it to them. But now we realize, you know, a generation or two later that it wasn't all that healthy. All the sugars on the cereals, things like that, not very good. On top of the other things that are in those cereals, candies, drinks as well. So I would make the case that yes, it's extremely dangerous in a cocaine-like way, because we are a nation of addicts, whether we want to admit it or not, and our obesity and health epidemics are proof of that. We overeat, and part of that has to do with the amount of caloric intake that you can have from something like a big gulp. Your body not knowing what to do with all the sugar turns it into fat, so forth and so on, sedentary lifestyles, and you have a recipe for disaster. Now, just in a conspiracy theorist way, it's beautiful for the pharmaceuticals because we are being fed unhealthy foods right into, now here's your cure in doctors' visits, copays, procedures, and getting prescription refills. So there is that angle to it. But getting back to it, white sugar it's not what we need to be ingesting on a regular basis. And if I'm not mistaken, where did I hear that? I think it's something that the average American takes in about between 50 and 60 pounds of sugar per year. And that's crazy. And for a lot of us, we don't even know where those sugars are at. So if you look on condiments, things like ketchup, you can see sugar in it. There's sugar in bread. There's sugar in things that we wouldn't imagine that there was. So why is that? It's because we developed a taste for it, and we like our things sweet. And when you drink things, the grape juices, things like that, concentrates, those are syrups. That's a very heavy concentrate of sugar. If you turn to the back and look on the nutritional facts, some of these things have upwards of 55% sugar added to it. You could make a case that you could just take that 1 gallon of something, pour it in quarters into other gallons, fill those with water, and you'd still have a sweetened drink, but times 4. So the best thing we can do is train our palates and our bodies to get away from it. What's the first thing that a lot of people say when they lose weight? I cut out the sugars along with breads and alcohol, things like that. But there's a reason. Your body packs it on when it doesn't know what to do with it, so it just turns it into that fat. And it's a great way to quit an addiction, just like cocaine is an addiction. Or can have addictive properties. It's the same thing. And the danger is we're feeding it to children from a very young age. And so they're getting used to it. Now, I'm not saying sugar's a gateway to cocaine, but sugar's a gateway to more sugar. And that can be just as detrimental. Now, the reason I find sugar to be more dangerous is for that reason alone. You can give sugar to basically an infant, And people do that all the time. Give it something sweet and watch them start kicking and freaking out. Well, it's no different. Do that to, somebody where you go to a party. Give them a line of cocaine the first time. You're going to see similar reactions, which is a very energetic, almost, you can make a case obnoxious sort of behavior that's coming from them. And then there's a crash afterwards, which you have to do what? Have more of it to sustain that level of energy. Same thing you see with cocaine and sugar. I've never taken cocaine, but I am a sugar recovering addict every day, just like a lot of you are, and we don't really realize it or acknowledge it. So those are just my thoughts, but I definitely think that it's something that our system, and before our system makes changes, our citizens need to demand change. But it's hard to say when you're an addict and when you don't realize you're an addict, to say we need to stop having this sort of thing because it tastes good and it's fun, and a lot of times it's just easy. So I understand why, but we have to start looking inward to say, what am I doing to myself, or what am I watching my friends and family do to themselves when it comes to ingesting these things on a high level? Let me know your thoughts. Ace up the sleeve, advice, comment, experience. Please hit the like. If you don't like it, that would be great too, but at least leave me a reason why. Put it in the chats. Let's have a talk about this, and maybe I can learn some things that maybe I'm wrong on in the comments from people who know better. And I will just say, aside from the diabetes, things like that, you can lead into a lot of cavities. Cavities, rotten teeth can create infection, which as you swallow more will create digestive problems. And if it goes upwards, it can be fatal when you infect your brain. So there's a lot of long-term things, whereas cocaine might be, you take a sniff and people falling over. RIP to Len Bias. We know that story. And so I think it's more dangerous because with cocaine, I don't know. Maybe there is a study. I didn't see it, but you have a longer line of addicts because you've got children in line as addicts with the sugar, whereas generally it's like an adult thing. And can you afford cocaine? We can get sugar anywhere. Pop, 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 pop. We can get sugar anywhere. So again, I hope this finds everybody in a place, pursuit, or beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul. And we'll see you very soon. Peace, love, unity, solidarity. And if you're going to have sugars, have natural sugars. Apples, oranges, maybe not apples, but watermelon, fruit, things like that. There's other places to get some good sugars, and just doing better health-wise.